Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Sylvia and I make videos on planning with occasional review. Today's video is going to be a setup for quarter 2 of 2022. Okay, so there's a lot of interesting things that happen when it comes time to planning a new quarter. First of all, there's usually a shift in weather and a shift in planning. So for me, when we plan for quarter 2, I have to be thinking about certain things like in the month of May, school ends here in Colorado. I know some places in the US, school doesn't end until June, but for us it's May. So I need to take into consideration that taking the kids to places, having to pick them up from the bus, all of those other things, that's all going to shift for me. Also, it's going to be spring and we're going to be on the cusp of summer. So I also need to be considering things that need to happen outdoors, whereas during winter, I don't have to worry about that. Basically, I have to cover up a couple of things outside with a tarp and put away like the lawnmower. Other than that, there's nothing really for me personally to do outside. Blow out the, of course, sprinkler system. Other than that, I'm golden. So when it comes time for spring, there's a lot of things to consider. Also financial things to consider. Like we need to buy a new lawnmower for sure. And I'm not sure if we're going to buy a driving one or if we're going to just do the push mower. We live on a lot of land. So it's just really what we're willing to spend. Now I've gone ahead and I've just taken a regular sheet of copy paper and I've broken it down into thirds. On one side, I wrote down quarter 2 RAM dump for 2022. This is where I'm going to go ahead and start doing some brainstorming of things that I want to get done in this quarter. And then on this side, I went ahead and I used some Post-its. These are Post-it brands, sticky notes, and I went ahead and gave each month a different color. I was using a pen to start out, and it just wasn't as bold, so I brought out a Tombow instead. So I went ahead and outlined those so you could see them a little better. So when I'm trying to break down a quarter, 3 months of the year, I think about these 4 things here, which is the quarter as a whole, the one big chunk, and what I want to get done. And usually as a writer, my major goal for a quarter is to try to get down some kind of writing project completed, whether it's an entire novel or something like that. I have to be thinking of my one big project. For me, that's always writing. The second thing is the monthly. So I try to pick 3 different milestones, one for April, one for May, and one for June. And that helps me out a lot. So what I've gone ahead and done here in the marker and the Tombow is that I have gone ahead and thought about the things that are going to be happening in these months. So for instance, in April, I've written down Camp NaNoWriMo. I'm going to be doing a draft of a novel. So I'm going to be writing 50,000 words in 1 month. And that's going to take up a huge chunk of my day. And then of course I have to remember that it's Jade's birthday in April and we have a second birthday in April. So these are the 3 major things that I know off the top of my head I need to get done. In May, of course, I wrote down The School's Out for Summer. We always play that song every single year and the kids find it hilarious. Maybe they're just, I don't know, they're just so excited it's summer, everything's funny. Then we do sign up for camps for Jade. So since COVID's happened, she hasn't been able to go to any basketball or volleyball camps, but now those things are starting to open up. So I wrote down sign up in May because they usually happen in June and in July. And then of course, money, how much it's going to cost so I can let her mom know. And I need to get on that for May. Of course, we have graduation here in May as well. So that's something else I need to write down and consider. For June, I have to remember that Camp Nano July is coming up. So if I want to write another novel for July, I need to make sure to outline or prep a novel if I decide that I want to add some words or if I want to just revise or edit for Camp Nano July. Then as I mentioned in May, Jade has camps in June, and then of course we have mine and Jay's birthday week coming up between the 21st and the 24th in June. And I think he might go to New York. He did last year and that was such a nice break for him. He got to see family and he came back really like excited because he hadn't seen them in so long, and I really want him to try to do this every year and not go so long without seeing his family. So I wrote that down. I don't think that this year I'm going to go. I know Jade wants to go, and I thought maybe we'd wait until next year. So that's also something I need to be considering, since financially it's something I need to work out. And that's basically all I've done off of the top of my head before I actually even open any of my planners or anything like that to check out what else could possibly go on here. And of course, this is everything that I do before my Kanban boards, which I was talking to you guys about. So this one is a little bit smaller. It fits 5 columns, so you can fit like these, I think they're 2x2 sticky notes. And then I have the 4 columns, which fit the standard ones so that you can write a little bit more. And then of course stuff on the back as well. I like this size. I think it's 11 by, what is it, 11 by 14. These are just poster boards you can get from the dollar store. I like that these fold in half because I can fit them in a file folder and carry them with me to the library or anywhere I go. I also pulled one of these out. This is just the getting things done. This is one I created myself so that I can look at some of the things that I have been planning for Q1 to see if they're, you know, even relevant anymore, if I need to delete them, delegate them, or defer. So I just have this off to the side. This is one that I'm supposed to cut and fit in my 5A, but I haven't done that. 5A, my A5 bullet journal. But I'm just going to be referring to this as I am doing this. And then the next step, I usually go through any planners where I've written like long-term and short-term notes and try to decide whether any of this stuff, like I mentioned, is relevant anymore. I accidentally took this out of the bag. I'm going to set this up off to the side here. I'm still finding these shavings from when Jade was doing her homework on my desk. I'm going to go through this and start checking out some stuff and seeing what I can plan for the second quarter of the year. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to go ahead and there's a big old hog. Is that what we call choppers? I don't know what, I'm just not cool. I don't know what they call motorcycles going by. It was so loud. Anyway, I'm either going to go ahead and do this on camera and speed it up and then stop to talk you through some things because I think there's some important stuff that I don't want to forget to mention, or I'm going to do a voiceover and combination of, you know, little pop-up writing here and there. We'll see how it goes, but just know that if my shirt changes or the lighting changes, it's because my sitting time is limited, as you all know, and I'm probably going to do this here and there, half an hour to an hour over the next couple of days. Cool? And before I go, I actually should mention to you, I did my little plan. I'm dropping things, you guys. I need a bigger desk. Okay, so this is my A6 that I am currently using, and so I made some notes here that I need to do a month on 2 pages because at the beginning of this I started it halfway through the month, and so I was able to fit what was left of the month on 1 page. So I wanted to remind myself I would need 2 pages for the monthly, a cover page and then a goals or slash what I'm calling the monthly task list for my 2-month spread. And then I want to do a new Tombow color, so I've been picking a different Tombow color to kind of matchy match, and it's been really nice, just a nice pop of color. I wanted to remember to do a weekly review, so leave space for that. And then 4 days of March will be going in this April section here, because as you can see here, this is just a week where both of the months have days in the week. So 4 of March and then 3 of April. So before I can really set this up, I kind of wanted to do this so that I could kind of see how this is all gonna go, but it's been working out well. Today is Sunday the 27th, early in the morning, so I haven't really gotten anything done yet. And then I haven't done the review because I usually do that at the end of the day or on Monday morning. Okay, so now I can get started. Okay, it's a different day and I'm here to wrap up this video. So here we have my RAM dump, and as you can see, I've added several things on here. I tried to break it down into categories as best as I could. I have house, I have my weekly chart here. I really miss that so much. And this is an A6, so it's very tiny. And it's more narrow actually than A6. It's only really A6 in height, but that's what they call it. And so I suppose I could draw out a weekly chart in here, but the point of my weekly chart is so that I have like a nice square to write information in. So I think I'm just going to do that on a Kanban board and show you how that works. I don't know. I've never really done a weekly chart on a Kanban board, so we'll see how it goes. I'm definitely at this point going to make a couple of different kinds so that you guys can choose which one you guys like the best. I have social media here, exercise and health, and then we have education and learning. And I've kind of broken it down into stuff for Jade, stuff for myself, and then some of these things are for both of us. Up here, I decided to break this down into 2 sections. These are my projects, and I broke them down into bigger projects and then smaller projects. So for me, bigger projects are things that are going to take possibly the whole quarter, whereas smaller projects are going to take up anywhere from a few days, maybe like 3 or 4, to a couple of weeks to about a month. Some of these things require planning ahead and some of them don't. We also have some things that are about money. And of course that takes longer because, you know, you have to have the money. But most of the bigger project things are, you know, my writing projects. And I kind of just wrote things that are open here that I want to get to at some point. And they're all in just different stages, which is kind of funny. So Project Crimson is the project I'm going to be drafting for Camp Nano April, which is coming up in a few days. And I will have 50K done there. And then I'm probably going to take several months off. I did write it here for June that I possibly would take May off and see it with fresh eyes in June for revisions. But I think I might actually wait until August after right here, which would be Camp Nano July. I'm at this point not interested in what project I work on next more than I am that I'm just working on a project. Does that make sense? So I just need to keep chipping away at things. So all of these things need to go into the getting things done, the GTD system, where I make them actionable. So they need to be broken down into smaller parts. So I'll probably do a video on that. I might break these down further on a piece of paper, on a sheet of paper, kind of like this, or I might just go off of this in my next video and pull from here and break them off into smaller parts using the GTD system on Post-its and then add them to my Kanban board. We'll see, but either way, a Kanban board is coming up in a video. I also went ahead and probably you've already seen this video where I set up April. I left this blank. I wrote to-do list up here at the top. And I'm going to pull from here and put them on here, and that's why I didn't fill this out in the video. And of course this is more for like memory logging than it is for actual appointments. I'm not really having as many appointments right now, kids coming to the end of school, so I don't feel the need to have a section for that right now. They did some transfer and I talked about that in my video, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp on some Post-its and then just leave them out on my desk overnight so that the next time I put them in here that won't happen. Yeah, so today we're on Wednesday and I didn't even fill out my journaling, my little notes for yesterday, and I didn't even mark any of this stuff off because it was just such a boring, chill day. It rained. It's been raining here for like 5 days now. Allergies are a little annoyed. You get that itching in your throat. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so I need to go through and finish that and pull from here and start putting some stuff on for the rest of the week. The system's really working out for me, so definitely going to do the weekly chart on a Kanban board because I don't want to mess this up. I really like it. So I hope that this was helpful to you guys. Let me know how you guys do a RAM dump. I also, this is just off of the top of my head, I went through this morning and finally found my RAM dump trigger sheet. I couldn't find it anywhere and I have it printed out. So I'm going to go through that and probably even add on some more things. I can put them on this side if I need to. Yeah, so we'll see you in the next video. All right, so don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope that this was helpful. Thanks for watching and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.